I was thinking here with this movie, it's not so much knocked up as knocked sideways, and having a death of a young parent as a springboard for romantic comedy is quite a strange one. Was that part of the attraction, that this was not your typical meet cute movie?
That was it. It started out, you know, a movie that starts out with a tremendous tragedy, and then the rest of the movie is balancing the reality of what it is to be a parent, particularly when you don't want to be a parent. And I felt like it was done very honestly, and I felt like it was done bravely, and still trying to be entertaining and romantic and comedic and all that, but that there was something very tinged with what life is really about.
Well, at times it did feel like I was watching the breakup in reverse, the whole kind of process of two people sharing a house and going from hate to love, and that notion of the screwball kind of classics, that two people who don't like each other, like Cary Grant and Katharine Hepburn, and gradually get to like each other. Were there reference points for you? I don't know whether you had to really go that far to look at the tone that maybe Greg was trying to get to, or the sort of...
Well, I did. I mean, it's a good question, because to me what this movie is, you know who I think does it better than anyone is James Brooks. Like, if you watch James Brooks' movie, they're always very fun and smart and funny, but there's always a layer underneath them which is not dark per se, but that it's filled with what I think I've learned about life, is that life sometimes is very funny, sometimes is very exhausting, sometimes is very boring, and that there's all those different things going on. And so to me, that's what I was watching Greg reference more than anything, is movies that had a greater level of intelligence, comedies that had a greater level of intelligence than, and you of course go back and reference those ones too.
I was thinking, your character Sam, here he is, he's pretty much a saint. He's a doctor, he cures children, he gets, you know, wonderful table in the restaurant's kitchen, never mind the restaurant itself, for special dates. He lets go of the one he loves because he loves her that much, he wants her to be free. I'm just thinking that it must have been, for an actor, that must have been tough, because you want a flaw, you want him to, you know, make him a closet Nazi, or make him an alcoholic who kills kittens, or some flaw that you say, well, this guy's not perfect.
Another great question. I'll tell you the truth is, I had a really difficult time with that, because I don't know how, like, and the reality is that's who he is, and I couldn't bring my dark baggage or the fact that I wanted to secretly make him a serial killer or something, because he wasn't. And those people do exist, you know. I don't think they're terribly common, but there is a certain kind of, I know, having come from the South, there's a certain kind of Southern gentleman who's like truly like the really good guy, and particularly if they work with children. And I felt like that, and maybe that's why, without giving things away, maybe that's why things go the direction he is. He's almost too good of a guy. But
it's like the Irish. The Irish are exactly the same. We just help, we just give, we're attractive, and we get shafted every time.
No depression,
that's it.
No drinking.
A little bit of drinking maybe, but that's just being friendly. That's just being social.
Exactly.
Very, very social. That notion too, I was just thinking, movies like this are obviously, to a degree, they're a good commercial sense, but then something like the documentary, like, you know, Hollywood, where you've got Barry Levinson's thing about looking at the 2008 elections and the Democratic and Republican kind of conventions. Your parents were very political, they were anti-nuclear and all that. I don't know whether there's a side of you that sort of needs, you know, one over the other, or whether it's just the balance of a career. You need to make movies that are commercial, and it's good to also get in there with politics. And
well, look, I've made a lot of movies in the past couple of years that no one saw, and that I put my soul into them, and it was very painful, actually, because you sat there and thought, oh man, I don't know that I want to keep doing things that no one sees, and that something like Life as We Know It, you know, look, I don't want to do commercial fluff all the time either, and I felt like with Life as We Know It that it wasn't that it was like this, it was enough on the edge of being good Hollywood entertainment, but also with enough reality in the storytelling and in the filmmaking concept that Greg talked about from the beginning. But politically, I mean, I don't know, it's scary these days where people are just, audiences are so beaten down by what they're seeing in the news media and the reality of what it is, the economic crisis, all the different things, that the last thing they want to go do is see a movie about more darkness and depression, or about the reality of the world. So I'm trying to balance that. I really am. I'm trying to basically put things out into the world that are intelligent and also uplifting, and have some sense of hopefulness, really, I think is what it is.
I got to go very, very quickly. Sorry.
Sure.
Girl across the road, I live in Kindlestown Park in Greystone, so her middle name is Easy, but it's not actually Easy, that's just a joke. Your middle name is Easy. How the hell do you end up with a middle name Easy? I don't know if that's going to sit very well. And in social circles?
The truth is that I was my parents were living on an Indian reservation, and when you name a baby when you live on an Indian reservation, you know the whole two dogs.
Yeah, fucking. There you go. We can say
I can say it good. I came out very easy. And I came out so easy that I kind of just popped out. And I guess the doctor was like, whoa, and smashed my head and gave me a big dent in the back of my head. So it's Easy Dent is my name.
Nice.
But I guess I didn't really cry. I was kind of like an easy baby. So my mom was like, I think we got to name the baby Easy. And now he's got a big dent in his head, so he's Easy Dent.
Nice name. Well done. Cheers, son.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Have you ever made it over to sunny Ireland? I'm trying to go.
You know, I haven't. It's really